Happy Sunday, campers. I hope you're going well. It's been a good Sunday, for many people in the real estate space. It's been an interesting one. It has been an interesting one, but it definitely looks like for real estate agents, professionals across residential and the commercial sector, it looks like we are seeing the light at the end of this rather long tunnel. Really, really good stuff, thankfully. And now, look, before I crack on and we do a bit of a Victorian update to make sure that everybody's across everything that's gone on today in real estate land, I just wanted to mention, geez, there's a lot of people that love to have a whinge, right? Like, I know that we've got so much to be a bit narked about and whatnot, and angry and upset and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know about you. I'm bored of being down and whatnot. Can we please make a conscious effort to, let's just crack on and focus on what we can do as opposed to what we can't do. All right, because even with the wins that we had today, there was still a good few people having a real good whinge and moan. So let's just have a look at the silver lining and not the cloud now, because there's plenty of us that are, we are really running on low/empty from a mental health point of view. So the last thing that everybody needs is to just compound it with perhaps, can I say, unnecessary negativity. So yes, if we could just do that, that'd be great. Now, let's just quickly run through the update for Victorian real estate. As of earlier today, the REIV have, I've spoken to Leah and just made sure that everything that we're going to mention just now is all good. So, gang, you guys can take this with a good degree of authority that it is all correct information. First one, Onsite auctions are back. Yes. Get in. I know this is a completely selfish win for me, but I have missed my gavel. I really, really have. I've really missed wielding it around town. So as of the 11:59 p.m. tonight, auctions on site are back and available as an option for you and your vendors, which is really, really good. Now, obviously, the restrictions on them are that you're only allowed 10 registered bidders. Okay, only allowed 10. Seriously, if I have 10 registered bidders at any of my auctions, I am going to be lapping it up. That would be an amazing problem to have if we didn't have enough spaces for everyone. So only 10 registered bidders plus staff. Okay, so it's not including staff, it is plus staff. All right, now a little bit later on in this little show, I'm gonna just put out a couple of suggestions that will help you get around those restrictions if you do have issues when it comes to the limited number of people and all that sort of jazz. But look, really good news that we are allowed to crack on and get them done on site. When you combine it with the fact that stock is still ridiculously low, interest rates are still ridiculously low, inquiry level is still ridiculously high, we should be in for some fun. So hopefully that will keep everybody very much entertained. Really, really looking forward to that. Brian, I hope you are well, my friend, over there in the US. I'm not touched base with you for a wee while. It's been a bit hectic down here as it is over there, and you got the US about to heading into election season and whatnot. So, Brian, I hope you're going well, my friend, over there, the king, the godfather of LinkedIn, shall we say. So, on-site auctions are back. Now, commercial real estate inspections, they are also back. I'm so relieved for the commercial real estate space, as is the REIV. My God, they were really hitting the fan. A lot of commercial agents that I was talking to were I had a couple of real desperate situations for clients and whatnot. So this is a big, big thing. This one, I dare say, you know, from an unselfish point of view, this is a damn sight more significant than having on-site auctions available in a huge way. Well done to the commercial real estate sector in Victoria for managing to keep on keeping on as best as you possibly have been able to. And I'm really hopeful that you guys can really kick into gear in a massive way now. I think that for me is the biggest win by a long way when it comes to, when you look at the real estate sector holistically. The fact that commercial real estate can get back on its feet again is a huge win. So good work to them. Obviously, it's only one-on-one inspections. And with all these things, PPE is a requirement, permits are required, obviously, all that sort of jazz. All right. So make sure that you follow all the rules and regs and all that sort of jazz. So clarification around border crossing from Metro into Regional VIC. This is one that I've had a number of people ask me about this, and I have clarified it with the REIV. As long as you've got your permit, you can cross the border from Metro into Regional for the purposes of an appraisal or an inspection. This is a really cool one. You can cross the border. Now, you can't go across the border, do an inspection, and then go get a coffee or go grab some lunch or anything like that. You have to go straight to your appointment and then get straight back after your appointment as well. There is no meandering around. I highly recommend you go to the bathroom before you go to your appointment. That's one thing you don't want to be busted doing. Imagine that, copping a fine because you were too desperate for the toilet and couldn't hang on till you got back into the right area. Make sure you go to the bathroom before you go to those appointments, guys and gals, please, because that would be a rather embarrassing fine to have to front up to. But yeah, that one is a really cool one as well. So if you are on that border, I've got a couple of clients that are on that border between Metro and Regional. You can cross over more freely now. Just make sure you got your permits and make sure you don't go doing any sort of detours to go get a coffee or a Slurpee or anything like that, okay? You can't go do that. Straight to your appointment and then straight back afterwards. Make one trip there and one trip back. All right, so they are the three big announcements that I wanted to make sure that everybody was across, which is really good. Now, one thing that isn't allowed is open for inspections. Still not on the menu on both rentals and sales and commercial, okay? Not on the menu in any way, shape or form. No open for inspections are allowed still in Metro Melbourne. Why? Well, look, mainly it's because if you advertise an open for inspection, you can't register people to come to your open, which means that there isn't as much of a control over the movements of people, okay? So, gang, that's, it's annoying, but I think we'll take the wins over that, to be honest. I think the wins that we've had are much better than not having it open for inspections. I've seen the diaries of a few people, and your appointments are ridiculous, insane amounts of private inspections going on. So just make sure that you're qualifying as much as you possibly can. Make sure you ask the question. Are you in a position to put pen to paper, whether it's rental or sales? Are you in a position where you can pay your bond? Are you in a position where you can pay your first month's rent? Are you in a position to put pen to paper? Are you financially qualified in order to make an offer? Make sure that you get those questions asked and do it in a good way. So tomorrow night's episode of Property TV, I've had Rick Rushton come on. And he just throws some absolute fire out there when it comes to making sure that you are qualifying buyers and prospective tenants and whatnot in a way that isn't going to alienate you from your buyer population or your tenant population. We've got to be very careful because those buyers, a lot of those first home buyers especially, they are at the front of a family tree that is going to hear how they've been handled. So you've got to do it with a good degree of courtesy and a good degree of respect. And tomorrow night's episode of Property TV, we talk about exactly that. It's a really cool episode to tune into, if you ask me, all around communication in the space post-COVID. Very much worthwhile spending 25 minutes on. So Gang, make sure you don't do your open for inspections. Make sure that you qualify your private inspections so that you don't OD on appointments to the point where you end up making yourself feel rough because you've just absolutely smashed yourself. Be realistic with your time as well, gang, as well, because it only takes one person. If you back to back, it only takes one of them to be late and you're in deep trouble. All right, so make sure that you're reasonable with your timekeeping as well and time management. So now a couple of suggestions with how to best work around the auction restrictions, because that was one of the first things that a number of people have questioned. Like I said, gang, if I have more than 10 people registered to come to an auction, if we have the problem of that, that is a bloody good problem to have, if you ask me. So there's a few really quite simple ways to get around this. One of the obvious concerns is the fact that if you're doing an on-site, what's to stop neighbours coming and watching as well? Valid question. Simple truth is you can't stop them from going to the front lawn or to the edge of their property without coming onto the street and then watching. You can't stop that from happening. If you are insistent on doing them out the front of the property, one thing that I would suggest that you go and get yourself from Bunnings, do a little click and collect quickly. Maybe go and get yourself a few cones of some description or get, if you've got A-frame OFI boards or something along those lines, mark out an area that the registered buyers can be within. Mark an area out so that you can at least show, if not, at least show that this is the border. So it's like, right, you're allowed to if you spectate out of this area, that is entirely on you. But within this area, it's registered people only allowed into this vicinity. If you're really struggling with that, you can always do it in the backyard of places or whatnot as well, right? You can always restrict the people that are coming to watch by having it in a restricted area. So you could gate off a driveway, for example, and have everybody in the driveway, or you can have everybody in the backyard that is registered, so that people that aren't registered to come to the auction can't get in the home. Okay, you can get your way around this. Now, in reality, there is probably going to be neighbours that will say, look, you can't stop me from walking up and down my street, all right? Of course there's going to be those types of people, but as long as you've made it abundantly clear that you are doing everything you possibly can to make sure that you're doing the right thing with those registered bidders, you'll be okay. You will be okay. All right, and make sure that your registered bidders have all got the PPE, as per normal. Now, the auctioneer, when they call the auction, they are allowed to take their masks off. All right, for the purposes of calling the auction. Don't know about you, but I can't even walk without my glasses steaming up, right, when I've got my mask on. So trying to call an auction was just going to be an absolute disaster. It was going to be, I might as well have just done it blindfolded. So you don't have to have your mask on when you're actually calling the auction, which is great, okay? But look, let's look at the positives, guys. There are so many positives that so many people within the sector. It is really, really good to see the fact that people in the commercial space can crack on now. It is so good to see that we can do on-site and take advantage of this sheer volume of buyers that are kicking around with the lowest interest rates known to man. It is insane how many people can still get out there and buy with the shortage of stock as well. This is an opportunity, gang, for us to really help our vendors out in a massive way, which is amazing. So, so good. And yes, Jazz Hairdressers are opening Wednesday at 9 a.m. This Barnet is finally getting a shop. I've never been so excited for a hairdresser, for a haircut. I've never been so excited, if you can't tell. Look at that. Jesus, these Louise. Follically challenged is something that I will never have to be concerned about, thankfully. But gang, look, it's just so good. It's just such a good day as long as you take it in the right way. All right. Now, another thing that you can do and this is a conversation that I've had once or twice with a few people, and I had a little nibble at someone earlier today on social media, in the right way. It wasn't him personally. How to take the opportunities to amalgamate traditional and technology. All right. So probably the best way of ensuring that you only have your 10 registered bidders there is if you do have any more that are really, really keen on joining in and or watching, okay, and or want to watch, what have we been doing? We've been doing some virtual auctions, right? We've been doing Zoom-based auctions, yeah? We've been using Gavel or Anywhere auctions, all right? I called an auction from the other side of the world. Let's just make sure that we keep hold of those really cool bits of technology, okay? Let's make sure that we keep hold of those. If you've got more than 10 registered bidders, wire the rest in. Dial the rest in. Right? I would love nothing more than for this to become a permanent thing. There is now zero restrictions for buyers from when it comes to them engaging with an auction. Zero restrictions. One of the biggest things that a lot of agents tend to worry about, and this is why they always tend to do them on a Saturday, because apparently that's the only time that bidders are out in town, is making sure. I would love to see virtual and on-site coming together. Having someone within your team with a laptop or an iPad and some bidders that couldn't make it to the auction that are there on Zoom bidding via the person that's got the iPad or the laptop or whatever. All right. In the UK, they do this all the time, like all the time. They'll always have someone with online bidders stood or sat next to the auctioneer. And it's just a no-brainer for me. Gavel have been doing it for a long time. Anywhere Auctions has been doing it for a long time. All of those platforms have had this capability, yet we've been really shy of taking it on. But now we've had to use those things a lot more. So therefore, we've got a real opportunity to just create a whole nother level of dynamic when it comes to auctions, a whole nother level. And it's super exciting, right? It's so exciting. The amount of, interstate investment or, going out to regional or whatever, you can have these people there now. So exciting, gang. I would highly, highly recommend a hybrid. So as Phil mentioned, hybrid auctions here to stay. I bloody well hope so. I hope so. I've been trying to champion this for God knows how long because I know what it's like in the UK. I know how it works in the UK. But they'll hopefully, thankfully, people really take that on board and be a lot more dynamic and, and therefore be a lot more open with their diaries as well. So you'll have bidders that might not be able to make it on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night or on a Sunday morning or something like that, right? But they can still be entertained. Now we've got a much greater acceptance about technology. It's wicked. It is such a cool thing. All right. So, gang, let's just think a little bit more openly. Let us take the lessons that we've learned and then look at bringing them together and taking the best of everything and using it all at the same time. All right. It's just a big relief for a lot of people. A big relief for a lot of people. So let us take the lessons that we've learned, apply it to the stuff that we know and enjoy and that we know works and we know how to work, and just up our game. Let's up our game holistically. We've got a real opportunity here right now to just take the level that we've been operating at and just go whoop very, very quickly by taking the lessons and applying them to what we've got going on now. All right. So just to recap, we've got on-site auctions are allowed now up to 10 registered bidders on site and have the rest come through via Zoom or Gavel or Anywhere Auctions or one of those platforms or Google Teams or whatever. Commercial real estate agents can do private inspections now, which is such a good bit of news. That so good. And gang, you can cross the border from metro to regional for the purposes of an inspection or an appraisal. You just got to make sure you just do a beeline, straight line to there and back. No messing around. You can't go to the coffee shop or anything like that in between, okay? So I hope that just clarified a few bits for everybody, gang. If you have any questions about how to best work around this option scenario, hit me up. Numbers on in the thing there below, or you can always DM me, as always, on any of the social media channels. Feel free to DM me at any point, all right? But this is a big day and a good day for Victoria, okay? And look, it's not like we're saying that he's giving us these things. He's just returning the stuff that we were already entitled to. But let's look at it in the positive sense, man. We've done enough whinging and moaning. I think we've all had enough. Let's just rock and roll, all right? And let's bear in mind as well, there are still a hell of a lot of people in industries that are still struggling. They still can't do anything. So let's just, have a bit of perspective and, and treat everything in the right way, all right? Let's take what we've got and use it to the best of our abilities, okay? Now, a quick plug for real multimedia. My good friend Phil, he's done this. He's got this amazing promotion going on. I said I wanted to just give it a bit of a nudge because he's done so much to support a lot of agents in and around Melbourne. So Phil Georgiadis, he's Real Multimedia. He's got a promotion on right now. So if you have got any auctions booked in and you want to get an auction video done or whatnot through Real Multimedia, you can use the code promo-19. So promo-19, and you do get a little bit of a discount there for your auction videos. He will be a member of staff, so he can help with the broadcasting as well. If you did have them going live, he's a pretty talented individual. All right. So look, so you are allowed. He is allowed to get out and about and support you from a media point of view. So realmultimedia.com.au. Get on him if you do want to get some auctions recorded. Oh, such a relief, gang. I hope you have yourselves a wonderful remainder of your Sunday. Enjoy the week that is to come. The RAIV have got their novice auctioneers competition coming up on Tuesday. So good luck to all of those novice auctioneers that have really given it a red hot crack on Tuesday. I really hope that they get a chance to shine, and good luck to all of those people that are giving it a go. Gang, for now, enjoy the news, all right? Enjoy it. Let's not keep finding the negatives. Let's just enjoy it for what it is, all right? Big thank you to the RAIV, Leah, Gil, and the gang for constantly pushing our agenda as best as they possibly can. They have been working tirelessly. Even though a number of us now have been able to get out and about, they've still been pushing it really, really hard to try and get the rest of the industry up and running as well. And thankfully, it all seems to have started to come to fruition. So thank you to those guys as always. All right, gang, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Stay safe, stay healthy. Most importantly, please stay happy. And we'll see you around the traps. No doubt you'll bloody well hear me in the not too distant future as well. Take it easy, gang.